What's going on, you Mate Packer legends? It's another day, another episode. So today we are installing the new 4x6 Bushdoof Angry Eye headlights. Now previously I've already got the Bushdoof headlights on here, the 4x6s, but we are scrapping, we are getting rid of them because they have just released new headlights. These do release, I think it's next month in November, so I'll let you know the date anyway by the end of the video, but stay keen for this because today we're doing a full install. So we're gonna rip off the bullbar, we're gonna respray it, give it a nice freshen up. Take out the whole headlights and slap these bad boy in. They've got indicators that come in, parkers, obviously all the multi LED colours as well. First off, let's do an unboxing. Come over here and I'll show you what they look like. Look at these sexy weapons. As you can probably tell, they're similar to the lights that I have on now. What they've done is they've created an angry eye look. So they've cut out the top end of this here. So the light is going to sit like this, which is going to give like an angry eye sort of angle. Obviously, there's a whole load of wiring here that we've got to sort out. I got no idea how we're going to do this, but I guess it's probably the same as the old headlights we got going on here. The only thing I didn't do on these old headlights, I didn't wire up the indicators and I didn't really wire up the parkers properly. So, which we are going to try and get it all done. Now, it's pretty much, most of it's all on plug and play system like the old system. So you got a control box here with an app that we've got to download, which will sort out everything. Now, obviously it's all marked up. So you've got your righties and your lefties. Oh, look at this. We even got a remote here, ladies and gentlemen. You beauty. Now, as we're getting these headlights out, I'm sure you can see there's some beautiful cans of fresh paint we got here as well. Now, I'm gonna do a little bit of a rundown of what we got cracking on here. So, this is plastic dip, I call it. Now, if you want to come rack over to the grill here, I'm going to show you what's going on. I get a lot of questions, here and there about what the heck, what have you sprayed your grill in? Because it looks black, and it's obviously most of the time they come out factory with a chromey looking color. Now, plastic dip, this is my best friend. I've used him. I think I've used him for like a couple of years now. I've used him on my older cars as well. Now, what plastic dip does, it's a black spray for any plastic. So obviously the grill is plastic. So if you try and spray the grill with normal black spray can, it will not last. What this does, it puts a plastic paint cover over the plastics here and makes it look really nice, and it lasts a lot longer. So I'm going to try and scrap all this old stuff off because I've had this on there for probably like 2 years-ish now, and I'm going to just give it a fresh coat, freshen up. But plastic dip costs about 40 bucks from Supercheap, and I cannot recommend this stuff enough. And some of you might say, oh, it's dodgy, get it properly powder coated. Yeah, yada, yada, yada. I don't have all the money in the world, so plastic dip's gonna have to do. And it's worked a treat previously. Don't look too close, but it has worked, and it does work the trick for me. And that's how I like it looking. We got spray can, another spray can, another spray can, another spray can.
First up, it was time to pull apart this front end.
Rightio, so now it's time to pull this bull bar off. Now she's quite heavy. Ooh. She's heavy. Oh. Holy heck. Talk about a bull bar that weighs half a ton. Righto, time to wrap this grill out. Old headlights out. And we're halfway there. So now it's time to take the surround bracket for the lights off. Now, if you own an 80 series and you know these screws, which ones I'm talking about, those little ones that hold this bracket in, they're about as useless as a solar panel on a stormy day. What you can do, which I figured out previously, is that you can literally just chuck mostly any old screw in there. The thread's pretty generic. This is the screw that I was talking about. The useless tiny screw. As I'm putting these new lights in, obviously, with new lights, we want to make everything else look nice and pretty. So we're cleaning up the bar work here. So I'm just sanding it all back with a wire brush, and I'm going to give it a new lick of paint. I won't record too much of it because this is not what the whole video is about, but I'll get this all sanded down, try and respray everything, and then we'll come back to when these lights are on. But the grill out, the old lights are out, clean up the bar, give it a respray because it's got rust spots all over it. So gonna clean this all up, give it a nice and fresh respray, and then we'll be back to you when we're chucking the new lights in. Righto, so because obviously I'm sanding all the bar down, I've had the wire brushed in it now probably like an hour or two. I can't get in the places where I need to get to and where it's most important. So I've whipped out my old portable sandblaster here. I've used it a few times for all the resprays that I've done under my 80, but she's back at it again. And we're gonna just give the bar places a nice sandblast where we can't really get to. Rightio, so we've got the bar here. It's covered in its primer. It's sort of like a rust primer, rust preventative primer. I'm not too sure how good it is and how actually well it works, but we've given it a crack. Now, what we do have here is the brackets that do hold in the lights. Now, I've sort of sanded the rough bits back where it needed to. So we're gonna get the plastic dip now, give them a fresh coat. But if you do give it too much of a coat, it flakes off quite easily. So you just wanna give it light, very light coats. Now, what we've also done, we've gone and got some new Parker lights. Cheers, Tom, for chucking them over to me. But my old Parker lights were cracked and I actually never used them. Now, what I did do on my original Parker lights is that I cut a little bit of extra space out where the bulb is supposed to sit, and I put the indicator bulb in there. So instead of the side light on the 80 series being a Parker, they were used as an indicator instead. However, with these new lights, I'm wiring up the indicators, so I do not need indicators or Parkers at all. So what I'm doing, yet again, I got my best friend out, Plasti Dip, and gonna give her a nice fresh coat. So now this primer's all dry, we're getting the black spray paint on, and we're going with a gloss black, mate. Rightio, so we've let the paint dry overnight. Now, what we have gone and brought from Bunnings this morning is we've got a gloss clear coat, so we're gonna give this a nice coat. Hopefully it'll bring up the shine on it. Rightio, so it's now about time to chuck these Bushdoof lights in. Now, just a quick little rundown on the wiring we got here. As you can see, there's a heck of a load of wiring here. Now, this control box is where, obviously, this is like the control module, so it runs all your lights and all the different colors and yada yada. Nice bunch of wiring. Now, you look at this wiring, you're like, holy heck, that seems like a mad job. It's actually not, it's real simple to explain. Now, what we got here is a green, which is a green's left indicator. Black is the ground, obviously, the negative. Red's positive, we know that. White's the Parkers, and then yellow is the right indicator as well. So first thing what you want to do is you want to run all your wiring first and try and tap into where we need to get into pretty much. So I've put a terminal on for me positive. I've got my negative here ready to go. Now what you don't want to do is you don't want to put the lights in, plug them in, then wire up everything. You want to run all the wiring, tap all the wiring in, and then the last step to be plug in the lights. What also comes in the kit is extension wires. So because we want to run our indicators, obviously the indicator from our battery here isn't going to reach over all the way to our right indicator. So they come with extensions, which is pretty simple. Literally, we'll just plug her in. Right, so we're now onto the point where we want to join on all these wires and hook them up all together. So what I do have, some people aren't going to like this, but I call it a joiner. I actually don't know the true name of it, but it's where you can join two wires and you join it together by crimping it. I mean, look, I've used it previously on a couple of cars before, done the job. I'm going to wrap some electrical tape around it anyway, so it sort of stays protected a little bit more than what it is, because we want to get this done pretty quickly, and I've used these before and they've worked the treat. I'm going to do it all again. So I'll show you exactly what they do. They're really cheap. I think I got them from Bunnings or Repco or whatever. So you slot one wire in, and you slot this wire in on the other side as well. Okay, if I can get her in, beautiful, just like that. Now what you want to do is we want to clamp this down, which there's a little pin in there, if you can sort of see that pin there. And now we want to clamp it down. So what's this going to do? It's going to join the wires together pretty much, and so it'll run off the same thing. So just like that, I push the pin down, which now the wires are joined together, and then it's got a little lid here, and you just close it down and it'll lock on. Just like that. And then you want to cut the end of the wire here that we've got joint on. It's as simple as that. I run some electrical wire through that, and then we then we'll be pretty much good to go. Now we have our left indicator, which we've got another one of these joiners here. So we're gonna join these wires together. Anyway, so we'll clip her over, and that's her joined together. I'm going to keep the bulb in, so what I've done, I've just rewired I've actually soldered in the bulb in again, so that acts as a resistor against the LED lights. So if you are planning to get these lights and you're putting in the LED indicators, keep the bulb in because that acts as a resistor. Rightio, so first thing to go back is the Parkers. Beautiful. These have been freshly coated with the plasti dip, so they're nice and beautiful, nice and black, and you know, I don't need Parkers anymore on the sides. We've got some different screws because as we talked about when I was pulling them out, those screws in there that hold it in the headlights around are useless as all buggery. So let's get our first light here. So the surround goes over the top like that. Here we go. Oh, yes, they fit.
An upgrade.
An upgrade.
Right.
Rightio, we've got a special guest appearance. Zach Burrs.
How you going?
The indicators on the right side here are working.
They're working there, but these ones have been a bit funny. We're using the old light bulbs here, if you can see that. So they're sometimes working and sometimes not. All the wiring seems to be a bit temperamental. So, yeah, we're figuring it out as we go. But yeah, the light bulbs are using them as resistors, so rather than going and buying resistors, technically they are resistors. So
now it's just time to clean up the wiring, and then we'll get everything back together. But as you can see, they look like a treat. Right, so what we're doing here, we're soldering up this right side indicator. That joiner that we were using wasn't quite working how we wanted it to. Yeah. So we're gonna actually try and do it proper. Those joiners that we were using, for some reason on this side end of the indicator wasn't a big fan. So we've got it hooked up here on the right side, on the left, sorry. But anyway, hopefully this will fix the problem, because we were blowing a couple of fuses here and there, and there was a short circuit going on. We can't figure it out yet, but it's just definitely my wiring job. So what we did do, we were using those little joiners, but we were having a couple of problems with them. Don't recommend using them, especially just for like the quality that we're trying to go for here. But like, yeah, good for some things, but for these lights, they just weren't loving it. Righto, so as you can see, we blew a couple of fuses trying to get this right. But we eventually got there.
that was a doozy, that one. Holy
I almost called the car on fire.
We got some money then.
We pretty much pulled apart all those joiners, and we've probably soldered it all on together, so now hopefully they'll all be on properly, and they all do work. So anyway, time to get the grill on.
Probably not the application for this sort of stuff. Probably like for your, like radio and things like that, and speakers you'd probably use them for. Probably not like this sort of stuff.
Anyway, so we'll get everything back on and be good to go. Righto, so we're now putting the surrounds all back on. It's gonna look fat. Cleanest front end on TikTok. Except Zach Burrs.
Coming for the crown.
Look at this, mate. We're getting it done. You know, oversized screwdrivers and all.
Oh, I was putting mine to the side. What a screwdriver.
You know? Oh, this is nowhere as heavy as mine.
You reckon?
No. Mine's...
Right, it's a bit of a three-man job to get this bar back on.
Mine's about 4 tonne.
Yeah, righto, so we're still assembling the bar. Now, you boys chuck that through there.
The light looks a little bit underrated, mate, for the rest of the truck.
There.
You got these big tyres on there, and you got this like little globetrotter, you know, light bar, mate.
Rightio, so we probably had a massive cut from when we put the bull bar on to now. It's been a couple of hours. Now, as you can see, they look sexy just like on camera in person. Now, I'll just sort of run you through a couple of modes that they've got. Obviously, this is the white light. So this light here is pure white light. Super happy that they have done that and Bushdoof have cracked that code. Now, what it also does come with is a remote. So let's say you've got your red lights on, you think you're a mad dog driving the roads and your red light, boom, you see a cop, gone. It's just a great addition that you get. Real quick, handy, you know, if you think you're gonna, you know, get caught in mischief, keep the remote on you, because then it also is an easy way to change your colors as well. You know, it's got a whole different range here that you can sort of flick through and yada, yada, yada. So I'll run you through a couple of the light modes that they've got here on the app. Looks, you know, fancy dancy. Look at this stuff, just, you know, brilliant. I mean, it's just, look at that, it just looks wonderful. You know, if you're a P plater and you're into your colored lights, mate, this is for you. So I know I missed some parts of the install, but literally it was really simple. It's got all coded, it comes with an install guide that you can literally just read through and it tells you exactly what you need to do. The most annoying part that I had to go through, I used those joiners that I ended up scrapping because they weren't really holding like I wanted to. I actually decided to do it properly and splice it and solder them in all together, which now they work an absolute dream. And these lights come out on the 20th of November at 6 p.m. So if you want a pair, get onto the Bushdoof page. Stay keen. I'm pretty sure you can set an alarm for them from the day that they actually do come out, but 20th of November at 6 p.m, set an alarm to order these dogs because they are absolutely mean as. In my opinion, I'm not too sure about yours, but in my opinion, these definitely are the best looking lights, the 80 series on the market right now. Now, I know it wasn't much of an in-depth install. I was supposed to do like a really deep dive on, you know, this is what you do and next step, next step, next step. It was more of like a what did I get up to this weekend. But look, as I said, 20th of November, 6 p.m, no mucking around, no farting around. Order them from the one and only Bushdoof. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the rest of your day and I'll see you on the next one.